Hello, my name is Howard Beckman, and I'm here today to talk to you about Vedic astrology. Vedic astrology is the oldest system of astrology known to man. It's documented to be well over 5,000 years old, and it's part of the science or knowledge coming from the Vedic scriptures. These Vedic texts encompass not only the science of astrology, but the science of Ayurveda, medicine, which is often being recognized today due to the work of such greats as Deepak Chopra and others, as it's a very complete healing system. Also the science of yoga. Everyone's heard of yoga, and many, many yoga studios have cropped up all over the United States, Europe, and many places in the world. But the core of all of these three sciences is that they're all aimed at gaining a deeper understanding of a human being. Now, Vedic astrology is calculated using the same zodiac as an astronomer uses. So in other words, it uses the exact positions of the planets and their orbits around the sun against the backdrop of the fixed stars and constellations to make its calculations. Whereas today, Western astrology doesn't do that. Most Western astrology uses what's called the tropical zodiac that was created about 1700 years ago. Now, it was based on the equinoxes. So the vernal equinox was very important, the spring equinox, about March 22nd every year. Now, at this time, the sun was at 0 degrees Aries when they began the system. So they not only calculated that the equinox would come back, the relative position of the Earth and the sun, at this exact same time every year, but that the sun would also be back to the beginning of the zodiac, where it was at that time. It was actually at 0 degrees Aries against the fixed stars and constellations that we call the zodiac, the belt of stars in the heavens. But of course, we know that astronomically this is impossible. It takes an extra quarter day for the Earth to orbit the sun. So although the equinoxes come back in once, we might say, year, every year at the same time, the actual orbit of the Earth around the sun takes an extra quarter day. That's why we had a leap year, once every 4 years. 1 day to the end of February. Why do we do that? If we didn't, it would no longer agree, our calendar, with the seasons. It could be January in New York City, and it could be 95 degrees out. So it would no longer correlate. Now, at that time, the two zodiacs were identical. But today, a Vedic astrologer uses the same zodiac as does an astronomer. So the calculation of where the planets are is actually different. So therefore, let us say that you were born on the 25th of July, and according to tropical astrology, you look in the newspaper and it says Leo. And of course, this is only the sun sign. It doesn't tell you where all the other planets were, which are very important. But in actual fact, if you asked any astronomer in any observatory in the world, he would tell you, no, the sun is in Cancer, and it moved there about 10 days ago. So therefore, there is an inaccuracy astronomically, which is the reason why Western tropical astrology is not really used so much for prediction. Western astrology more shows the solar forces. It shows how planets distribute solar energy, rather than actually distributing the energy of the galaxy and the stars themselves, which Vedic astrology seeks to understand and to give knowledge of.